Good day everybody, and welcome to this fourth in the series of our Soft Tissue Therapy Congress talks, which is coming up on the 23rd of October. I'm delighted today to be joined by our keynote speaker, Craig Harper.
How delighted are you?
I'm absolutely delighted.
Out of 10, because you say you're delighted, but out of 10?
12.
12, that's super delighted. Well, that's all right, we'll continue.
So I see Craig's extremely motivated, and people may not have come across Craig before. I personally used to work from a small office inside Harper's personal training gym, which is going back in 2007. For people who don't know Craig, he's one of Australia's leading presenters, high performance coaching, personal transformation. He's been a key part in the fitness industry since 1982, and I think in that capacity he worked as a university lecturer, exercise scientist, radio host, TV presenter, and if I'm missing anything else.
Good memory, mate. Very good memory. Lots of stuff, which means I'm very old. That's essentially what he's saying.
So, what have I missed out? What else can you tell us about?
What else? Well, I've written a few books, and like you said, work in TV. I have a show called The Science of Sport on a station here in Melbourne. I work at a company or for an organisation called Dayhab, and I work with addicts and alcoholics in the space of creating, obviously, change and lasting transformation around physiology, psychology, and the emotional stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, everything. I do lots of travelling. My main job these days, I guess, is corporate speaking, and that's kind of where we're going with what I'm going to be doing. In my keynote, we're talking about how do we create better results in our world, and whether or not that's with our business, whether or not that's with us in our business. So we talk about what are the skills, qualities, attributes, habits and behaviours of high performers. So in business, in life, in sport, in battling an addiction, in creating lasting change. So what works and what doesn't. So we know that we all want to succeed, but what does that mean? It means different things to different people. We all want to be happy, but where does that live? We all want a good brand, we all want to be rewarded, and we all want to be grateful, and we all want to be fulfilled with what we do. So it's trying to figure out who we are in the middle of what we're doing, and also how to do it really well. So there's a fair bit of psychology, there's some very practical stuff. I've employed over 400 people in my life, so in my journey. So I understand what it is to be a manager and a leader and a boss and a business owner. But I also understand that there's much more to creating a successful brand and career and experience than just all the nuts and bolts and the dollar signs.
Sure.
So we're going to talk about the practical stuff, and we'll also talk about the very human stuff that, like for example, if we've got a good business and we're pumping in terms of people through the door and numbers and bottom line, but if in the middle of all of that we're not particularly happy or fulfilled, then maybe we need to reassess our blueprint for what we're doing.
Okay. So you mentioned you spoke to corporates. In terms of how you speak to corporates in high performance coaching, how does that would that translate, and how is that different maybe to the audience that you're going to be speaking to, which is kind of, I suppose, remedial therapists and myotherapists? So is there a difference?
Yeah. Well, I guess there is and there isn't. I guess the difference would be that this is massage therapists or remedial therapists, very specific. And just thinking on my feet right now, I would think that you need the skills, but you need a high level of emotional intelligence and situational awareness to be able to connect with people, because it's such a personal, physical experience. But in terms of what works in business, whether or not that's for an accounting firm or a law firm or a massage business, or for me as a corporate speaker, there's a lot of commonality between, building a brand, making hard decisions, embracing the right behaviours, having clarity about what success means for me. So what does success look like in your business? Because success for you won't be success for me. Where you'll find fulfilment and happiness might not be the place I find it. So it's trying to understand what it is we want to achieve on a more global level, on a business level for us, but also then us as individuals, so that we're succeeding in our business, in our career, but also underneath all of that we're finding fulfillment and happiness and purpose and creating connection.
Fantastic. Going off subject a little bit, I know in your introduction you mentioned your work with Dayhab, and many of you may have seen the TV commercial and saw Craig in that. Can you tell us a little bit more about, I suppose, Dayhab and your involvement in that?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the Director of Health and Wellness, so I work with the boys and girls in the space of helping them get clear about the kind of lifestyle that they want to build post-program.
Sure.
So while of course we talk about addiction, but there are counsellors that do that much better than I do, but I really talk to them about the food stuff, the exercise stuff, the mindset stuff, and the practical reality of trying to build a different life and trying to create a different framework and blueprint for their life from the point where they leave the program moving forward. So, you know, I guess addictions are really, I've been there for about 2 years, and I thought I understood addiction reasonably well, because I'm reasonably educated and thought I was reasonably smart. Discovered I'm not so smart, and discovered that, you know, addiction is a really multi-dimensional, multi-layered challenge. And, you know, there's social and economic and spiritual and physiological and psychological, and you know, there are so many moving parts and so many issues. But yeah, for me it's a pleasure and it's an honour, without trying to sound insincere, to work with those guys and girls, because you know, you're meeting people and working with people at absolute rock bottom. We're not talking about, most of them, we're not talking about people with minor issues. We're talking about people who are literally, for some of them, it's very life and death. So it's an interesting experience.
Sounds it, absolutely.
And it's been, they've definitely taught me more than I've taught them.
Fantastic. Guys, as you see, there's quite a bit to Craig, and his talk, High Performance in Business and Life, is really going to be motivating. I think something that you really need to see. Again, as a reminder, the conference is on the 23rd of October. There are still a few tickets left. It is selling out very quickly. But if you do want to get a ticket, then you can go to our website, which is mimt.edu.au, or give us a call on 1300 839 839. Craig, thanks very much again for your time. And guys, we do hope to see you there. Thank you.